switch it up now to the NFL. We just had week 10 now of the NFL season, and I feel like I know nothing.
I know nothing either. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad.
And we'll get into it a little more right now, but I don't see an alpha dog right now in this league. I don't see one team that stands out as the best. Which is kind of good.
Yeah, it is kind of good because you don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl.
It keeps things exciting.
The only thing that I will say is that why does it seem like teams just don't show up on days? There's a lot of teams that literally just don't show up.
Yeah,
I'm not speaking from bias. I'm just saying.
No, it's just 100%. It feels like not every team is coming out every week and playing at the level they should be playing, and that's why it just feels like this league is so vulnerable to just once one team gets hot, it's over. Because I don't see a bunch of talent. I would say the Ravens if they were more healthy, but they're not. In the end, the Ravens' biggest problem is fighting those injuries.
They just lost to the Dolphins.
And they just lost to the Dolphins. That's a big loss. But let's get into another game. Because we're speaking of not having a true alpha. And yet, here he comes again. The Emperor of the Sith. Returning again. Putting the hoodie back on. Putting his team on a 4-game win streak. Only losing close games to the Cowboys and the Bucks. His team is looking red hot. And not only did they beat the Browns, they absolutely obliterated them. How good are the Patriots truly?
Man, to be all honest, we've been talking about this recently, but I have a new case that I want to say.
Okay.
You know, I came out saying that Mac Jones was the best quarterback out of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come out and say he's in the talks for the best player
out of the draft.
Out of the entire draft, both sides of the field.
As of right now.
Mac Jones, I'm not going to say he is the best because Jamar Chase is looking very well. But the stats of Jamar Chase, obviously, you can't really compete.
It puts him ahead of
it. You can't really compete for that Rookie of the Year right now. But Mac Jones,
can definitely.
What you're watching happen, win games.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is going to win more games than any of these players are in the beginning of his career.
And the thing is, too, is what we're seeing from Mac Jones is, obviously he came in as the most pro-ready quarterback. And the Patriots just made the decision, let's get rid of Cam Newton, and we're just going straight all in with
they were stupid.
Yeah, we thought it was crazy. But they went all in with Mac Jones for the sole reason of, we think in this system, and Josh McDaniels is one of the best offensive coordinators out there. It feels like he's been very underrated after last year, but people forget how good of an O-coordinator he is. Knew that under this system that is favorable to a guy like Mac Jones, with just good pocket presence and good arm accuracy, that he would continue to develop and just get better over time. Mm-hmm. And we are seeing that. But I'm most impressed by, actually I shouldn't be impressed because I should have expected this, but Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach of all time, and he's also a defensive mastermind. And we have seen some great play from this defense.
That's great. 45-7.
To 7, shutting off the Cleveland offense to only 7 points. Now I know Cleveland's had injuries, and you want to talk about another team that's facing injuries right now? It's Cleveland.
They're the worst.
Baker Mayfield's going down again. They don't have Kareem Hunt. Nick Chubb wasn't in this game again. COVID-19. So.
Man, one thing I will say, even when Baker was in the game,
it wasn't happening.
I'm just going to say this. Baker he might not even be an average quarterback anymore. He might be slightly below average.
Slightly. And the thing is, too, is I haven't seen a good game plan from the Browns without Nick Chubb.
No.
When they don't have Nick Chubb, they look dead in the water
now. I think they just love to run because they don't trust Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, Case Keenum is not a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not a bad backup. He used to be a starter.
And Case Keenum took the Vikings to the NFC Championship game. Yes. When he's on a good team, he's a good player.
So I think what this says is that, for one, the Browns need receiver help. Jarvis Landry, I thought he was going to step up, and he hasn't seemed to do that.
Coming off an injury.
But I think it does speak to the Browns' O-line, though, because no matter what running back is back there, they seem to really thrive in this offense. Mm-hmm. Dearness Johnson.
No, the Browns' O-line, I will say, is the best O-line in football.
I mean, there's not many that can compete with them. And I think they show that every single week.
But then why are they not winning?
Baker Mayfield, the receivers,
the passing game,
and this defense. Because how did you allow 45?
Yeah, so I think it's time we start realizing that this Cleveland defense might have been a little overhyped.
Yeah.
Right now.
Not even just little.
Yeah, pretty overhyped. And the thing is too is I feel like the game planning is off. Kevin Stefanski right now, he's only had a few games where he's had his moment where the game plan offensively, run, play action, that's only worked with Nick Chubb. He hasn't found a way to survive without him in the presence of Nick.
But yeah, I just truly think that the Browns are a little. Yes, the Patriots did play well. They definitely won this game. But the Browns, on top of it, are looking very suspect right now.
I think, the injuries. But I do want to give a lot more credit to the Patriots because they're on a 4-game win streak, and it doesn't look like they're barely slipping by. They look like we're talking about we haven't seen an alpha. They're the most red-hot team right now at this point in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I actually want to ask you this question, too, because they only sit 1 game behind the Bills for that division spot. They have to play the Bills twice. Do they snatch the division from the Bills and possibly a top 3 seed in the AFC?
Hell no, that's not happening. Now, I like what Kendrick Bourne has been doing recently. Former 49er. Mm-hmm. Last game he went off. He's not compared to Stephon Diggs. Mac Jones has been doing great. He's not compared to Josh Allen.
Okay.
And obviously, the Bills' secondary is what it is. And the Patriots, they have a great coaching system, but the players cannot compare to what the Bills have.
Okay. I'm going to 100 wholeheartedly disagree with you, and I'm going to come out here right now after week 10 and say that the Patriots not only are going to win this division, they're going to be a top 2 seed in the AFC now. Patriots might be close to winning out. They probably will lose 1 more game, if any.
1 more game?
I think so. You want to know why? Because you stated it out. You listed them out. The Patriots, they don't have a good of receiving core as Buffalo. I can agree. They don't have a good of a quarterback. I can agree. O-line? Definitely give it to New England. Running game? New England. Defense? I don't think it's that far away.
Yeah, I think
but
Bills have a little bit.
Here's what I want to say. Coaching staff. A mile. New England.
Yeah, that is true.
And it's not even no disrespect to Sean McDermott because he's a great coach. It's just you're going up against a legendary coaching staff. And people try to put Belichick on the hot seat with the fact that, Brady went and won without him. This is all Brady. Brady was the reason that this dynasty happened. No, there was a lot of games, a lot of Super Bowls where they won solely because of defense. The Patriots only put up 13 points. And that Belichick defense held that hot Rams offense to only 3 points.
The most boring Super Bowl of all time.
They shut down the greatest show on turf for Brady's first Super Bowl. It was a defense, again, that helped get that big interception against Seattle to win the game there. That was with game planning as Malcolm Butler prepared for that play. So, again, on a level of preparation, there's no team that prepares like New England.
Yeah.
And right now, I think their confidence is at an all-time high right now.
It probably is.
And I know they play the Bills in 2 weeks right now, and this is a Buffalo team that has shown to lose games that they shouldn't have lost. I think New England takes them. And I think I think they take them both times. Whoa. At home and in Buffalo, and I think the New England Patriots ride off in a 2 seed. And then we might be seeing New England right back in a Super Bowl again.
Whoa. All right.
Possibly. That one's possible.
Now we got to slow down here.
No, I can't. Dude.
A Super Bowl?
Why is it out of the question? Do you doubt Bill? Here's a question. Do you doubt Bill Belichick? Looking at the Patriots schedule. Falcons, right? Titans without Derrick Henry. And it's at home. There's a possibility to get them right there.
Ain't that your number 1 team, though?
That is my number 1 team. But again, right now, who's a more red-hot team?
Patriots.
Definitely the Patriots. Then they go into Buffalo. That's a big one. They got the Colts. They got the Bills again. Jaguars, Dolphins to end off the season.
Now, we're just going to have to wait and see what the Patriots do. That is very bold out of Alexander Flores. But I think that the Bills are definitely going to be better than the Patriots. Yeah. That's what I'm going to say.
No, definitely not. Next one. This is just brief because I have just a simple question. The Panthers beat the Cardinals. Here's the thing. We know that the Cardinals don't have Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, so that's not the biggest issue. Cam Newton came back. Rushed for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown in his first game. Is Cam Newton the energy and the leader that this Panthers team needs to make a run into the playoffs?
I'm not going to lie. They had P.J. Walker in most of the time.
Yes.
But when Cam Newton went out there on that field, you could just see the crowd just...
The energy.
It's not even about... Even in away games, everybody loves Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was my favorite player when he was in his prime. I'm sure he was a lot of people's favorite player.
Definitely.
And everybody wants to see him win. Nobody wants to see him on the bench. Nobody wants to see him out of the NFL.
And Matt Rule said he's going to start getting first-team reps. So, obviously, when he learns the playbook.
McCoy on 3rd down and 10, throws, and...
Make it in with Cam Newton at the helm, returning back to Carolina?
I don't think so. Now, the issue with Carolina is I think it's a little more than just the quarterback. I think they have a lot of other issues as well. Now they have Christian McCaffrey back. So the offense can definitely get them moving a little bit. But I think their defense...
Oh, dude.
I think their defense is the biggest problem with the Panthers. I don't think Cam Newton is going to solve it that much.
Okay, stop right there. The Carolina Panthers right now are second in total defense.
Okay.
At 280 yards per game holding teams. I'm going to have to stop you right there just because I really fully disagree with this. I think the Panthers are one good quarterback away from being a solid playoff team. Because, looking at the positions, their O-line is around the 15. That's middle way, so that's a solid O-line. Wide receiver-wise, Robbie Anderson, first of all, needs to fix his hands.
But DJ Moore is solid, too.
DJ Moore is solid.
Yeah.
We've seen that. And Cam Newton and DJ Moore have played together before. Right? Christian McCaffrey, the same. On the defensive side, they have Gilmore now.
I forgot that they got Stephon.
They got Trey Boston. They got Brian Burns. So they have well-known players and, guys that can lead this defense. So I do think the Panthers are one good quarterback away, and I think there's not a better time than right now, especially with New Orleans dealing with the injury of Jameis Winston and only having Trevor Siemian right now to lead the charge, and the Saints have now lost the last 2 games. You could see them drop out of the playoff picture. The only 2 teams that I see with competition for Carolina's either that 6 or 7 seed, remember there's an extra seed now, is either Minnesota or San Francisco. And even then, they're both behind them.
So,
I think so.
You know what?
So I will say...
I completely forgot about Stephon Gilmore. I completely forgot about that. So, what I will say, though, I do think that the Panthers do have a great roster. Cam Newton though he showed some great glimpses.
Yeah, so it all hinges on Cam.
Cam Newton is, I'm going to be bold here and say he's not going to be amazing.
Okay.
He's going to get the job done, but he's not going to be 2 for 2 touchdowns. He's not going to do all that.
Of course, but I think personally, now back on Carolina, I think we might be seeing a bit of a more energized Cam Newton.
Yeah,
that's what I expect.
He'll play with some more energy.
So that's what I expect.
He definitely doesn't have the talent that he used to have. So I wouldn't expect that.
Well, it's not MVP level Cam, but I do think it's a good enough Cam to get this team into the playoffs. Next one. Vikings Chargers. The Chargers hosted the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings, Kirk Cousins again leading the charge. They beat the Chargers 27-20. Kirk Cousins 294 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 9 receptions, 143 yards. Justin Herbert had an iffy game, 195 for 1 touchdown and then 1 interception. More of a great defensive play on that interception. But the Chargers couldn't get the ball moving for a while. So, did we jump the gun with the Chargers too early on even possibly being a playoff team with how competitive this AFC looks?
Now the Chargers, they definitely did start out really hot.
Really hot.
And they were like in the top 5 for teams in the entire league.
Yes.
So we definitely did jump the gun a little too much with this team. But I do think that the Chargers still make the playoffs because I think that they are a lot more talented than a lot of these other AFC teams. Mm-hmm. Now the AFC is a very stacked
Yes.
Conference, but the Chargers are still very talented.
Yeah, because let me just give you the listing. The Chargers right now are sitting at the 17th. The teams behind them: the Raiders, the Bengals, the Colts, the Browns.
Now,
all teams that we can expect to have a chance to make those playoffs.
But I think that the Chargers are better than all of those teams.
Okay.
All honesty, even including my Raiders. But the Chargers have Justin Herbert, who just won Offensive Rookie of the Year,
and he still looks great.
He didn't have a great game, but you do know that he's not gonna have terrible games.
No.
He's gonna have games where,
and he'll win you games like the game against the Eagles last week.
And Austin Eckler has gotten better. Keenan Allen finally kind of showed up in this game.
Yeah.
I thought Mike Williams was gonna be wide receiver 1, but Keenan Allen was like, no.
But that's a good wide receiver tandem right there.
Yeah, it is.
The big thing I gotta say for the Chargers is that defense needs Brandon Staley, a guy who came in as the Rams defensive coordinator, coming in as the head coach spot, needs to get some things figured out. Because the reason why they brought him on there is to help the defense. And so far, I've seen the biggest problem for the Chargers being the defense.
Yeah, I really like Derwin James.
Yeah.
But besides Derwin James,
and
Joey Bosa,
they're secondary right now. They're passing defense.
Yeah,
it's not looked great.
It's a struggle. Now I will say, when I was watching this game, I did see a lot of Derwin James. So I do want to say I do think that Derwin James has stepped up.
Oh, yes.
He's doing his best to do what he can on that defense. Mm-hmm. I think he is the top 3 safety.
Yeah.
But he needs some help.
Oh, big time.
Definitely needs some help.
Because when you're bottom 15 on total defense and you're a defensive-minded head coach coming in, that should not be the main problem. So that's what the Chargers need to figure out if they even want to be considered a possible Super Bowl contender. Here's the thing, though. If the Chargers do get into the dance, I do think they could be a little dangerous.
They are a dangerous playoff team.
They are a dangerous playoff team. Especially if they get in a low seed, watch out for whoever might be the 2 seed there, having to go up against them. But they need to figure things out defensively. Next game, talking about a team who did figure things out defensively, the Packers.
The Packers.
Yes.
Packers went up against Russell Wilson
and the Seattle Seahawks.
And
just wanted to briefly tie. I know this wasn't one on the list, but it's coming at you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Packers. The Packers went up against the Seahawks, and Russell Wilson just got locked up. Aaron Rodgers was even locked up as well. Yeah. This was the lowest scoring first half in NFL history. It was 3-0
of the season
in our NFL history, man. But 3-0, I was really bored, but eventually Aaron Rodgers turned up.
Yes,
and
the Packers got the win. So the Packers now have held the Chiefs to 13 points, and they held Seattle to 0 points with Russell Wilson back. This Packers defense has been taking on a big load right now for the whole Packers' lack of offense, especially when Aaron Rodgers went out. So that's obviously there, and we'll talk about that more. But I want to ask you just a quick question. Is Seattle done now?
Yes.
Is this officially over?
I think they've been done, to be honest. I think with Russell Wilson, he's always been the main chess piece that keeps them in relevancy. Mm-hmm. The Seahawks do not have a great roster. Besides, Jamal Adams sounds great, right?
Yeah.
But he's not someone that I would personally want on my team, to be honest. Yes.
No, I think he's very overrated.
He adds
and not very, but he is kind of overrated with the way his coverage.
Yeah, he can't cover anybody, and on top of that,
I know he got an interception, but
he just blitzes.
Yeah. He's a great tackler. He's a great strong safety, but when you put him in that kind of free safety spot and you make him go into coverage a little more,
tight ends.
No, he's getting dissected by tight ends.
Yeah, so it's the Seahawks. Yes, they have Russell Wilson. Do they have an O-line? No.
No, and they still haven't. They haven't had an O-line for years.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who both seem to be the most inconsistent wide receivers. In the league. There's nobody else to really help them out. They don't have a great tight end to really help them.
Yeah.
And if Russell Wilson has a bad game,
it's over. Okay, I can agree to that. I can agree 100%. You hit it right there on the head. Now let's get to the game you probably expected.
Yeah, you said
Kansas City. Sunday night.
Yeah.
Beat the Raiders 41-14. And now somehow despite the Chiefs having their worst month under Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they have managed to still take first in the AFC West. How did you guys let this happen? How could you?
You know what? Blame the Chargers too, man. Because what did they do? I thought they were number one, man. And you know what? I thought the Raiders were going to be number one. We were number one for like a week. Nope.
But how do you
The Chiefs were just last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and they were considered a bottom AFC team. Now they have 3 wins in a row against the Giants, which was suspect. The Packers without Jordan Love, which was another suspect win. And now they looked red hot. Is it time that we start worrying about the Chiefs again?
Now, this is what I'll say about this. The Chiefs, if you watch the game, one thing that I've learned about the Chiefs is they're a strong momentum team. However, the momentum is going, that is how they're going. Yeah.
Heavily in that side.
Yeah. So there was a lot of plays that if the Raiders made these plays, the game would have been completely different. I don't think it would have been 41-14. I think the Raiders have a chance of winning the game. Obviously, Deshaun Jackson came, had his first catch, 38 yards. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know.
And then fumbled it away.
He's instead of running forward, he runs sideways.
Yeah.
Fumbles the ball, and right there, that's when the momentum completely changed. Then there's a play where Casey Hayward could have had an interception. He drops it.
Yeah.
Trayvon Merritt could have had an interception. He drops it. If those plays don't happen and they occur in the right way towards the Raiders.
And then there was a couple plays, Darrell Williams mossing.
Oh, yeah. We also got to talk about, that was over Jonathan Abram.
Yep.
The Walmart version of Jamal Adams.
And to be a Walmart version of Jamal Adams who's pouring covers, that says a lot.
So Jonathan Abram cannot cover anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he could cover a bed if he was a blanket. He's just pretty bad. And on top of that, we also have Derek Carr, who is the most inconsistent quarterback that we've ever had.
A lot of suspect throws this game. When he's under pressure, he seems to handle pressure very poorly. He just threw it up a couple times.
You seen that one play where he didn't look at anything. Yeah. He just threw it.
up.
And I was like, what are you doing?
And you let Sorensen just right to Daniel Sorensen.
Oh, man.
So here's the one thing I got to say. It's not more so on the Raiders. It's on the Chiefs. And what I saw from that game, I saw the Super Bowl contending Chiefs that I expected to see a lot sooner. I know they picked up not Bud Dupree, but they picked up Melvin Ingram, which is a good pickup for that D-line. When you already have Chris Jones,
he helps them out.
So now he helps them out. And obviously they were getting pressure on Derek Carr that entire game, which helped out the secondary greatly. It greatly helped them out. Because in the end, it's not like the secondary, it's not like there was a big change there. But what happened was it always starts from your D-line and what you can do there. If this Chiefs defense can keep putting pressure like that, their secondary will get helped a lot. Most definitely. And it can help that suspect secondary succeed. My biggest thing, though, is what I saw from the offense that's been struggling so much these past few weeks. Mahomes finally let go of that mentality of just always trying to hit the big play, big shot. He was hitting his check downs. He wasn't afraid to dink and dunk down the field. And then once they do that, it keeps the defense honest and it allows them to take those deep shots. And that's why they're so successful on those deep plays.
Yeah. Travis Kelce destroyed us.
Yep. Travis Kelce kind of came back. Tyreek Hill came back.
Tyreek Hill had 2 touchdowns in this game. And I think the biggest thing that I got to say, I think the Chiefs are going to go back to the playoffs and make a deep run. Are they going to make it to the Super Bowl?
Who knows? That defense is still secondary-wise can be beat.
But I think this is the game that woke them up. Obviously, I think the Raiders in our division, it's the Chiefs and the Raiders that go at each other the most. In recent time, they're the 2 teams that kind of fight each other. They're like the Seahawks and the Niners. And the Chiefs decided, you know what? We lost to a couple bad teams, but let's go whoop the Raiders, man. Let's go whoop on them. And they spanked us. They
got you. That was good.
And now the Raiders are 5-4. And the Chiefs are 6-4.
So here's the problem too. I want to say, I'm very disappointed. This is why I said it was scary that there was no alpha dog, because it was giving the Chiefs that chance if they wake up that they could just take that crown again. Mm-hmm. Because under the worst month of Mahomes and Andy Reid, like I stated, they're 6-4. There's only one team in the AFC that has a better record than that. The Tennessee Titans. How is that possible?
It's very scary.
How is that possible that the Chiefs could play so bad and really there's only one team that has more wins than them?
Yeah, the Chiefs are...
The Bills all have 6 wins. The Ravens have 6 wins. The Chiefs have 6 wins. And yet the Titans are the only team that's 2 wins ahead of them.
Yeah, the Chiefs definitely got a little lucky.
They got lucky. They got lucky, man, because they were given time to now be in a spot where they are now.
But it's due because the AFC is so balanced. There's not really many bad teams in the AFC.
So it just takes that one team to take that crown spot, and they can take a chance to run away with it, possibly.
Yeah. So we'll see how the Chiefs do in their next upcoming games. If they dominate, it's time to pack up our bags, guys. The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl.
We would be willing to probably say, that Kansas City has a big chance of going back to the Super Bowl. But let's see, because they have a good game coming up this week that we'll talk about. Last game that we want to talk about. The Rams versus the 49ers.
Oh my gosh. Odell's first game. Von Miller's on the team too. They're going to destroy the Niners, right?
The super team, the Golden State Rams.
I know, man.
The Golden State Rams. And how did they do?
I'd heard the game was 31-10. The Niners scored 10 points. So Jalen Ramsey locked up Debo. Debo did nothing. Oh
no. Debo snatched Jalen Ramsey's chain this game. Actually, he snatched the whole defense's chain. All of them. 31-10. The Niners beat the Rams yesterday. That was the first home win of the season. So for me, having gone to every single one of those losses, that felt good to finally win this. The Niners played their best game of the season. Offensively, defensively, it was balanced. It looked like the 2019 49ers that went on that Super Bowl run years ago. Do the Niners still have a chance to sneak in as a 7 seed possibly in that playoff spot if they keep playing like this?
No, they don't.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, because I think you guys have to play the Rams again. I think everybody knows the Rams aren't going to play that next time.
They won't. Here's the thing too. There was a bit of a factor of the Rams just being completely off. Cooper Kupp had a couple drops. Tyler Higbee had some drops. Yeah, they were all
dropping a lot of balls.
And then Matthew Stafford had a suspect interception to start the game. It just looked off from the Rams' perspective.
You guys still have to play the hardest division in all of football right now. Once D-Hop and Kyler Murray come back.
We already played them.
Twice?
We already played them twice.
Okay.
Seattle one more time. The Rams one more time.
So, the Rams, I think you guys are going to take an L next time.
Okay.
The Seahawks.
In Seattle.
I don't know. Even though the Seahawks aren't that good, they always give a Niners run for their money. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see how that one goes. But you guys have already started off kind of slow. Mm-hmm. So you guys are going to have to catch real fire in order to make it.
No, we're going to have to play at this level every single game to have a chance to make it into the playoffs. The one thing I do say is, yes, I do believe there is a chance. I don't want to get my hopes up, and I said it before the game. I hope the Rams kind of just demolish us so that I don't get my hopes up. But here we are. The Niners look great. Something about the Niners just having the Rams number. They've won the last 5 matchups with the Rams.
Man. One thing I got to say about the Rams. I mean, it was Odell's debut, right? And I'm sure Odell's having flashbacks of Baker Mayfield because Matthew Stafford did not look good in this game.
Yeah, wow. You got to wonder if it wasn't even Odell's fault.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't even Odell's fault. I almost just wonder if Odell just brings a curse that's like kind of supernatural.
Yeah, or does he force quarterbacks to throw him the ball? Does he get mad at them if you don't throw him the ball? Because you've seen he was double covered downfield, and Matthew Stafford said, you know what? I don't care. That's DeAndre Hopkins over there. He's going to moss him.
Yeah.
So
I'm not ready to say anything like that because I don't really know what's going on in the locker room. What I am going to say, though, is I see the problem with the Rams offense. First of all, defensively, they're missing. Funny enough, I just got on Brandon Staley, but the way Brandon Staley was working that defense last year, They don't look the same with their new D coordinator under the helm.
Jimmy Garoppolo had a great game.
They're lacking pressure and secondary help. They truly are. This isn't the same defense that the Rams defense that we saw last year, even with the talent still there. It shows how important coaching is. My biggest concern with the Rams offense, though, is there's two things that, the Rams made big moves everywhere, except two spots. The O-line and the run game. Because remember when the Rams were Polly McVay's best team was with Todd Gurley and a balanced, running-heavy offense. Yeah. Now that you have to rely on Matthew Stafford in the passing offenses can be much more sporadic than running offenses. That's why a team with a good run game is much more dangerous, I believe, than a team with a good passing game. Mm-hmm. Because if you could just bully the team,
it means if you take the lead, you're not going to give it up.
But it's also harder for teams to game plan against you because you're just bullies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the end, as much of the scheming as you want to do on the defensive end, if you're just bigger, stronger, faster than the other team, and you just bully them, it doesn't matter. When you're kind of a dink and dunk, kind of tricky offense, if someone starts figuring out your play schemes, it's over. Because you don't have a run game to support it, and you can't just push your way down the field. The Rams are missing Cam Akers much more than they probably expected. Yeah. And that O-line right now, you have a lot of guys who are kind of up there in age.
Only dude is Whitworth, I think.
And he's already up there in age as well.
Yeah.
So the Rams, that's where their biggest weaknesses are. And I know on paper they have great talent all over the place, but that's where...
I think O-line shows how important it really is.
Oh, and that...
when you go up against a 49ers D-line, who's definitely one of the best in the league.
With Nick Bosa and then Armstead as well leading the charge there.
You definitely...
Yes.
Need to have a good O-line. But I don't think it's over for the Rams.
Definitely
I'm not even scared.
It just goes into that thing of we don't know what's really happening.
Yeah, you really don't know who could win these NFL games, especially division games. Mm-hmm. Always division games are always like the games where you don't know who's going to win. Mm-hmm. But especially this year where every team who looks dominant, they play against a division opponent.
Anything
don't even look the same. So... Yeah. I look for Odell to step it up next game.
Especially getting more reps, yeah.
Surprisingly, Cooper Kupp still got over 100 yards receiving.
I mean, he just gets...
I don't know how.
It was garbage time a lot, but Cooper Kupp just still manages to get his yards and targets all the time.
I don't know how that seemed to happen, but I was just watching the game, and at the end, they said Cooper Kupp...
13 targets this game. A big reliance on him.
Yeah, and obviously he wasn't enough.
Yes.
So we'll see what this Rams offense is able to do. Because that wasn't good enough. The Rams defense wasn't terrible.
No.
But you're going against Jimmy Garoppolo, and he looked great against the Rams.
And then the comment on the Niners offense, I loved what I saw. I love that aggressiveness on fourth down. That obviously that pass went to Deebo Samuel where he scored a touchdown. We were using Deebo at running back. Felt like a bit of the creativity was back. My thing is, though, is the situational play calling still. I still have that issue with Kyle Shanahan. We run on first down every time almost. It gets very predictable. We go on second down and we run it again. And then we leave ourselves for third and longs. So what it feels like is Shanahan doesn't trust Garoppolo.
I wouldn't.
And that's a problem though. See, that's a problem. Because even if you can say that Garoppolo's, overrated or underrated, however you want to go with approaching that topic, either way, how you look at it, whoever you have back there, you have to trust it because then you're just limiting your own offense. You know what I mean?
Very
true. If you're gonna hurt yourself more trying to protect yourself from Garoppolo, if you just let him cut it loose. At this point in the season too, you have to trust the guy you're going with. Obviously you're choosing him over Trey Lance at this point.
Yeah, we were saying that we were iffy if Trey Lance was gonna play.
Don't get in the middle zone with that.
Yeah.
Don't get in the middle zone with that. Don't say we're going with Garoppolo, but don't really then show it.
Yeah.
Trust him. At this point, you got to go with him, man.
At this point in the league, now that Jimmy Garoppolo played a great game, I think you have to roll with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes, and hopefully we see that a little more with Shanahan. And putting some trust in Garoppolo, that's the biggest key right now because that's holding his offensive creativity back.
Yeah.
And we'll see. So now let's go into our Week 11 predictions. Travis Lee's 91-86, so I made a bit of a step up there.
Comeback, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told you I'd be right back in it. I wasn't gonna go down that easy.
I'm about to stretch your back away.
But let's see how our predictions go for this week. It's been a little interesting with the season so far, but let's see. First one, Week 11 of the NFL season starts off with Thursday Night Football, and the Patriots go into Atlanta.
As we said earlier, the Patriots are very hot. I have them as my first lock.
So do I. I have New England locked against the Falcons. Next one, Colts versus Bills.
This one's kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Because the Colts are a solid team. The Bills
They're
have showed that they're a little better, but...
The Bills have lost games that they don't...
Yeah.
And the Colts are back in playoff position right now.
I'm going to stick with the Bills.
I'm going Colts. I've been riding high on this team even when they're losing because I know talent-wise this Colts team is much better. I feel like I'm just repeating myself every single week. But they're much better than their record shows.
Yeah.
I do think we see that.
We'll see.
Next one. Ravens versus Bears.
Ravens as a lock. I think that the Bears do not have great talent all the time. Justin Fields has iffy games, and I think the Ravens, sometimes their defense can really show up, and I think they show up in this game.
I got the Ravens as well. Not as a lock, but I have the Ravens. Next one. Lions versus Browns in Cleveland.
You know, I was really thinking about this. The Lions just tied with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns look kind of bad. I want to go with the Browns, but I don't know. I'm going to stay with the Browns.
Oh, dude. I was almost hoping you... I was going to say don't do it, but I was almost hoping you just went with the Lions. I got to go Browns. No matter what.
It's low-key close, though.
Oh,
it shouldn't be close.
It's definitely interesting. It shouldn't be as interesting as it is right now, but I can't go with the Lions right now. I'm sorry. Next one. Texans go into Tennessee to take on the Titans right now. First in the AFC. Now by 2 games.
Texans. The Houston Texans.
Yep.
The Deshaun Watson Texans.
No more Deshaun.
I'm going to go with the Titans.
I'm going with the Titans as well. Packers into Minnesota. Ooh. And the Vikings fighting for a playoff spot here. This is the Vikings team that I've said at least is kind of also better than what the record truly shows and more competitive.
Are we talking about the Packers that just dominated the Seahawks?
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the Vikings who just beat the Chargers in L.A.
Well, I know about that bad, man. And I'm going to roll with the Packers as my last lock.
Wow, you're locking the Packers in.
Locking the Packers.
I got to take the Packers too. I'm not bold enough, though, to take them as a lock. So far my locks are the Titans and the Patriots. Travis already gave all his locks off early. Next one. Dolphins, Jets.
Dolphins better not lose this game.
No, they better not.
They just beat the Ravens.
They just beat the Ravens right now.
Come on, man.
That's a bit of a standard that you have to have. I go with the Dolphins. Next one. Saints versus Eagles. Now, this game probably wouldn't have been as interesting had Jameis Winston been playing. But now we're looking at the Saints with Trevor Siemian struggling a little bit. Losing some close ones. Heartbreaking losses. Do they go into Philadelphia and win?
No, I wrote the Saints.
You did. Are you going to stick with that?
I'm not sticking with it.
You're not sticking?
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
So am I.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I'm going with the Eagles as well. I like the way this Eagles team is playing right now, actually.
I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's played very well.
No, and these last few games, the Eagles have been very competitive, beating the Broncos and almost beating the Chargers at home. Ron Rivera returns back to Carolina to not only take on the Panthers, but his former quarterback, Cam Newton.
Oh my gosh. And Chase Young just tore his ACL. He's going to be out for the season. He's the best player on the Washington, no logo, no mascots.
No team, no name.
Football team. I'm going with the Panthers because, as we said earlier, they have a good roster.
I know Washington just beat Tampa Bay, but I think that was more on Tampa Bay than it was Washington. I got the Panthers as well. 49ers go into Jacksonville off of their red-hot win versus the Rams. Do the Niners beat the Jaguars?
Let's go, Josh Allen. You know, he might be the best Josh Allen in the league.
Hey, it looked like it.
He might go crazy this game, but he's still not going to win.
No.
Because the Jaguars suck.
I got the Niners as well. Bengals, Raiders.
Oh, my God.
The Raiders have now put themselves in a situation, losing games that they shouldn't have, to now where they're fighting for a playoff spot right now.
Oh, man.
And the Bengals are right there.
And the Bengals are not an easy team.
No.
So we're going to see how this one goes.
In Las Vegas, what do you got?
I can never turn my back on the Raiders, man.
I respect that.
I got to go with my Raiders.
I respect that. But me not being a Raiders fan, I have to go with the Bengals here. Logically looking at it, I think what I saw from that Raiders defense was not promising, and now you're going against a great passing team in the Bengals. It could be interesting. And the Bengals just lost some games that they know they shouldn't have lost, so they had a bye week to prepare for this one. With a little sour taste in their mouth.
If we lose this game, I'm definitely going to be depressed.
Cowboys versus Chiefs in Kansas City.
This, I think, is going to be game of the week.
I got it, too, as game of the week. I think it's kind of obvious that it is.
Yeah. I'm going to go... I'm sorry, Dro's mom. I'm going with Chiefs.
Going with the Chiefs at home?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
It's in my family. I have to go Cowboys.
You can't...
Yes.
It's...
No, yes, the Chiefs had a better game, but for me, I still think the Cowboys have one of the most complete teams in the NFL and most balanced offenses right now. So, yes, while...
I think the Cowboys are not as hot as the Chiefs feel right now, though.
True, but I do think, too, the Chiefs played against a, Raiders O-line that isn't as good as it's been in the past.
Oh, no.
And this is a much better Cowboys O-line, much better weapons, and a much better quarterback.
I think this is going to be a shootout. But
it could be.
We have seen the Cowboys 2 weeks ago do nothing on offense. So we'll see how this one goes.
Next one. Cardinals versus Seahawks. Now, at the point of filming this, it's unknown if Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins play in this one. I expect them to both play.
Yeah, I expect
which goes into my prediction. I have the Cardinals.
We can't put like a safety on this one if Kyler Murray DF. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Okay, we'll do it. I'll let you go with the safety on it.
All right, we're gonna put a little safety on it
because at the time of this filming, we both expect Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins to play. No official word on it. Here's my thing though. I don't care if they don't. I think even with Colt McCoy, this Cardinals team beats Seattle.
Oh, you
still? So I'm just going full in with the Cardinals.
You know what? I'll do the same thing then too. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals because I don't think Russell Wilson got it this year, man.
I don't think it's not just Russell Wilson. I don't think this team has it this year. And the Cardinals are still more of a complete team. Sunday Night Football, Steelers versus Chargers in LA. The Chargers coming off a poor loss, and the Steelers coming off a tie with the Lions.
Man,
do you want to give your prediction first? I'll give him.
Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on the Steelers?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger, is he even gonna be back from COVID?
He should be. I do believe he's vaccinated from what I know.
So, who cares? This is one of the worst Sunday night games we're going to have because the Chargers are going to obliterate the Steelers.
I mean, I won't say obliterate, but I do guarantee that the Chargers will win. So I'm using my last guarantee here. Now, the Buccaneers came off a poor loss in Washington, and now they will host the Giants. Somehow the Giants just continue to get night games. But the Giants competing with the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, having their bye now, going up against the Bucs.
Man, Jabril Peppers.
And they also beat the Raiders.
Yeah, Xavier McKinney. Their corners as well, really nice.
Bradbury.
Man, they're going against the Bucs.
Man, dude. And Daniel Jones at quarterback, Kenny Golladay, Saquon Barkley might be back, dude. I think this offense might score 10 points.
Man, that would be really good. Let's make our prediction on that. How many points are the Giants going to score?
I think the Giants have, with how talented this offense is, I said they got at the most 17 in them, man.
Ooh, okay.
17.
I think what my prediction is going to be. I think the Giants go for over 100 yards in total offense. That's what my prediction is going to be. Because the Bucs are going to whoop on them.
How bold of you, Travis. How bold of you.
The Bucs are going to whoop on them.
I got the Bucs as well. I just think the Bucs are coming off, and they're going to be pretty mentally prepared for this one. And I know how Tom Brady gets his teams prepared, especially after losses.
And with an extra day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough day for the Giants fans, man.
No, I do have the Bucs for this one. And that will conclude today's episode.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys so much for watching these videos.
Do you want to do the outro?
Yeah, let me do
It's-
that.
I
Actually,
don't know if
I gotta talk to these people really quickly as well, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, man. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing, man? We come out with videos every week, right, Dro?
Yep, weekly videos.
Every single week, man. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment as well if you like the video, man. I just want to thank you guys for watching the video. I want to say thank you to my co-host, Alexander Flores.
Yeah.
He goes by Alejandro, but Alexander. And I'll see you guys next time.